Feeling
So this next section is called additional checks. Now, I've got a little picture here to sort of represent what I'm trying to say. And literally, you have professionals and you have amateurs within this space. Now, you've got the definition of an amateur there. You can read that. It's people are doing it as a hobby. And a lot of people are. But the one thing to remember is this. If you went into something like engineering is quite established, and you probably have to work for maybe 10, 15 years for people to look at you and go, God, that guy's a professional. He really knows what he's talking about. In cryptocurrency, because it's so new, there really isn't many experts. And you can move from amateur to professional very, very quickly. But you've got to want to put the work and the effort in to be able to go the extra mile to really understand. And I promise you now, that extra investment at the front end, doing all your due diligence, and the back end and the results will be so much better. So the first thing that you want to try and do is credit check on old projects. So when I look at the team, I look at certain individuals and probably their top 3 people, and I will look through their portfolios, and sometimes it'll say founder of, I don't know, Material Inc. or whatever it is. I'll go and find that company. I'll go and find them on Company's House or wherever it is. Then I will get the numbers, the detailed numbers, and I will put them into a credit check system. And I will check if all the bullshit that they're saying, oh, it was amazing, we made loads of money and it was fantastic, and then we just thought we'd do blockchain. I check those particular characters and I look at how well those projects were. I can also, with the credit checks, I can see if they submitted their books on time, if they had a great credit rating, if they delayed on payments. It tells you everything. It's it's about a 14-page detailed report. And I can see very, very quickly, 1, if people are full of shit, or 2, they actually did have a genuine business that was very good and they've just decided to use blockchain to help them. So that is a great little tool. And I would probably say that apart from product and team, this is the third thing that I absolutely jump to now. You do have to pay for the credit checking reports, but absolutely worth it, because I know if the input is great, then the output will be amazing. The next one is work history and jumping around. Now, I can't stress this enough. You really do have to be due diligent here, because every single time that I see someone with less than 9 months move, the products either generally don't take off. Those people either leave or do something fraudulent or something along those lines. So again, work history and that jumping around, do really, really focus in on this. And I've mentioned it a couple of times now throughout the course because it's something I want you to home in on. You can also check Company's House as well. So talked about it with the credit checks, but you can also see, did they dissolve their business? So they might be professing that they have a business and it's all amazing, and then you check on Company's House and all of a sudden it's not even there. I mean, I did a couple of cheeky checks on what's his name, Superman, and he had about 5 or 6 businesses that he was claiming that he was in or he founded, and actually only registered 2, and both of those he dissolved. They're obviously failed and stuff. So you could do some fun checks on other people as well. You can also look at people's Facebook profiles as well. I think that's always good, gives you a sense of the type of person that they are. Now, especially with the teams, I do that. I quite cheeky. I have 2 Facebook profiles, one where is my normal one, and one where I can just go and I can have a look at people's profiles and just check them out, because I want to be confident that if I'm putting my hard-earned cash or Ethereums into a company, I want it to do well. I want a return on my investment. So I'm going to go the extra mile to find out, everything about these guys. I want to get inside their mindsets, how they operate. Have they got the credentials? Are they like me? Do they have the sort of fundamentals of business to be able to carry a project forward? Do they have the relevant experience? If they're on their Facebook profile and they're just out getting drunk all the time, tells me they're a bit of a party animal. They're not really interested in making a project great. They're probably more interested in making them look great, and that's not going to make a project work. Then we've got our watch outs. Now, the first person here is Ian Bellina. Now, hats off to him. He's made incredible money out of the space, but he has a very simple system. He gets on advisory boards and he pumps the shit out of them. And then as soon as the project launches, after he's given it all the hype and everyone's buying in, he then dumps the shit out of it. I mean, he's quite open about it. He puts it on his Twitter feed. But, you know, you've got ICX now that have just said, want nothing to fucking do with you, mate. You're a fucking moron. And moving away because people don't want these instant, you know, pump and dumpers. You know, look at me, you know, his Twitter feed, self-made man or self-made diaries or whatever it is. I don't even follow him. But, you know, it's all about him. It's all about look at me. It's not about the community and it's not about helping others. But he's interested in profits, which is fine. But that means that no projects will want to work with him. So he's slowly putting the nails in his own coffin. But at the same time, if you follow his calls, you're also going to end up in this pump and dump situation. Again, this whole video is about helping you not to fall into these situations. I've been about for a very long time. I've been investing a very long time. The amount of people that I see get hit by these pump and dumps, and then, you know, some people have put their life savings in and their whole families fall apart. And I've been on the opposite end of that stick, and I know how it feels. So I get very passionate about these things, but people like this, you know, avoid like the plague. If they say they're going in for something, just fucking ignore it. Look for another project. Look for something with good ethic morals, that look for good people that will support it. The next one is Idiot Boy, and I've called him that because I just don't know his name. But he's not the only one. There's loads of guys out there using clickbait and false claims to try to get you to watch their videos. Now, the reason that they do that is because they have literally no substance to their videos and they're just full of shit because they don't have anything. You know, on my channel, if you look at my stuff, it's all, I would say, pucker, if you want to call it that, where it is what it is. I don't need false claims to be able to entice people in. My channel will grow organically. I'm not really bothered about the income from the channel because I make so much through the investing and all the other bits and pieces. I mean, I just do YouTube because I quite enjoy it. I love it, actually. It's real fun. I love creating. I love helping people. And the feedback that you get from people when you do the videos is amazing. And that's really why I do it. That's what drives me to do it. But you can see here, this guy's got 10,000% in 2018, something called Sell. No one's ever fucking heard of it. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to do that. You know, there's just so many people out there that will be pumping these videos. And if you're new to cryptocurrency and, you know, you've got a little semi on thinking, oh, I'm going to make loads of money, you know, you can quickly, you know, like, get carried away, wetting your knickers, investing in what these guys are saying, and then end up upside down your investment and really in a bit of a pickle as well. So don't want you to get into that mess. Take a really constructive view on things. If you're really excited about something, walk away from the project, take a breather, just collect yourself again, and then make a decision. Because if we're too excited, we make the wrong decisions. The next one is one of your favorites, I'm sure. It's Mr. Superman. Now, again, you know, he's added his value to the space, I think. He's done, you know, he's helped a lot of people get started. He did bring Bitcoins into the picture. I mean, I bought into it, but I didn't even know about Superman at that point. But again, you know, he has done some okay stuff. The big thing is that he is a shiller. He is paid, but he denies it. Now, I think he should just come out and just tell the truth about it. And here's a little video.
USA Tech looks quite interesting, actually. Oh, whoops. You didn't see that.
And the main reason I know that he's a shiller, because he tells everybody in his channel that he doesn't get paid. Yet I talk to ICO companies, so I work with a lot of companies out there at the moment. He asks for 2 Bitcoin. Now, I've had the confirmation of this, that he's been going around, and that is his going price. He wants 2 Bitcoin to shill. Now, and then he goes on his channel and says, I don't accept anything and all the rest of it. You know, we can see through the bullshit. He's here to make some money. I get a half feeling he's here to generate a bit of community, but he's here to make money. And if you look at, you know, the people that we have in this little array here, they're all here to make money. They're not here to build community. And I think that's the very big difference that you need to look at. And a great example, the Crypto Lark. You know, he obviously gets paid for some videos, but he's very open and honest about these things. But he's here to build community. And those are the long term. You know, Lark will be around in the next 3, 4, 5 years time, I think, where some of these guys will probably disappear off the scene. You know, more than likely once they start bringing all the regulations in and bits and pieces, they'll start cracking down on some of their activities and stuff. So, and then the money will go and then they will disappear onto the next thing. So, but yeah, just be careful of who you're listening to. And my best tip to you is this. The biggest question I get asked is, when is the best time to sell? What am I looking for in the charts and all these different bits and pieces? Now, for me, the time that you should sell isn't when you're looking at the charts. I mean, that's a great guide, but the markets are so volatile sometimes. The technical analysis isn't worth the paper it's written on. But when you start boasting to your mates about how much money that you're making, that is the number one sign that you should be selling. Because you know yourself you're making a lot of money and you should be selling at that point. That is probably the number one tip that I can give to people is when you see that behavior start to kick in, then you need to think about selling your position or half your holding or something to take some profit out of the market. Because the thing is, a lot of people will take money out and you won't, and you will end up upside down in your investments. And I don't want that to happen to you. So number one tip for you there. I'm feeling